We heard from Lochamei Israel. We heard from Torat Israel. But we haven't heard so much yet about another central facet of Ari's life. שמענו הרבה מלוחמי ישראל, מתורת ישראל, עוד לא שמענו משהו מאוד מרכזי על ארי פולד, וזה ארץ ישראל. We haven't heard about Eretz Israel. So here's Ari Fuld telling us about a place that he loves that has a lot to do with why we're gathered here tonight, about Eretz Israel.
I am in a magical, biblically magical, we're Monday afternoon. I am in a magical, biblically magical place. And everybody who signs in, invite your friends. This is really, coming back to the land of Israel is biblical, and it's amazing, it's miraculous. But I want to show you people I probably have not seen in 2,000 years. Let me introduce you a couple of people here. First of all, Jeremy Gimpel. How you doing?
Awesome.
All right. And Ari Abramowitz here. There are people, again, who talk about building the land of Israel, and there are people who do it.
Ari Abramowitz is who does it.
Ari Fuld is who does it.
Ari Fuld is who does
this
it.
guy
Protects the Jewish people.
What
do you do for the
listen to me. This guy right here is living out here, and they're really developing this place was empty. Empty. Nothing here.
Nothing.
See,
I reached out to you, Ari, because you symbolize in my mind a protector of Israel, a fighter, not a Galut Jew, not an exiled Jew, but an Israel Jew. What I know for sure is that I belong to this land.
Nothing has changed. We have to plant trees, we have to build homes, we have to build roads. Zionism is Zionism, and the Jewish connection to Eretz Israel is a Jewish connection to Eretz Israel.
But we're not here to make up points or to fight the Bedouin or to fight the Arabs. We're here for one reason: love. We love this land.
You hear these guys talking. What are they? They're like blowing up, fluff and air. It's not. They moved here. They put their own money in here. They real self-sacrifice that I was shocked when I heard about the self-sacrifice. I was mesmerized when I came out. It's absolutely amazing here. They have big plans for this place. And you know what? This is about something really much deeper down than action. These guys are living and breathing. Their heart is beating this place. It's just, you should know that this amazing project is going on here, literally on the rolling hills of gorgeous, stunning Judea, Israel. People, is my phone capturing this? I don't know if this is capturing the majestic view here. I'm literally mesmerized here. I'm mesmerized. I don't have to close my eyes. I'm in a meditative form right now. This is truly unbelievable. This is like truly amazing. Just take the camera off and look where we are. Can you imagine being in this wilderness and all of a sudden finding a little oasis just to focus? I don't know if you can get the view from here. And that building right up there, you see that building right there? That is the center that they're building, and it's going to be a spiritual center. Everything from a Jewish study hall, yeshiva, to meditation classes, to A to Z. You got to be blind. You got to be blind not to see this. But I think that what you're doing here is a catalyst. I think that this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting for.
כמו שאמרנו, אנחנו היום פה להמשיך את דרכו. ואנחנו ראינו עכשיו סרטון שאני חושב מסביר למה בעצם יש את הפרס הזה, כי יש המשך של הדרך. וההתרגשות הזאת של ארי, מרגישים אותה, והיום אנחנו ממשיכים את ההתרגשות הזאת בהענקת הפרס. We can all feel the amazing emotion that Ari had about the Ari goat farm. And tonight we're here not to as we said in the beginning, not just to remember, but to continue that emotion, those feelings about Eretz Yisrael, and that's why we have this amazing prize for the folks of the Ari Goat Farm tonight. And we have a very special person that indeed is continuing the derech of Ari Fuld, and that's Ari Fuld's wife, Miriam Fuld. And please welcome her. בבקשה כולם במחיאות כפיים. אני מתרגש להזמין את מרים פולד. נכון, אפשר לקום גם, כן, אפשר לתת כבוד. מגיע לזיכרון הזה, ונמשיך לדרך. מרים פולד, בבקשה.
It's been 4 years since Ari was so brutally taken from this world. Ari has inspired so many people to take action, to fight for what they believe in. Ari's message was as clear then as it is now. Israel's shield, Magen Israel. That's who we are, and this is our mission. to protect and love Torat Israel, to protect and love Am Yisrael, to protect and love Eretz Israel. אמרתי כמה פעמים היום שאנחנו צריכים, ארי נתן השראה לכל כך הרבה אנשים, והשאלה היא מה אנחנו עושים עם ההשראה הזאת. אנחנו שומרים את זה לעצמנו, או שאנחנו לוקחים את זה איתנו ועושים עם זה משהו. כי ארי לא היה נותן לנו לשבת בשקט, ארי היה אומר לנו קומו ותעשו. It's so clear to see in this video that Ari took just a few years ago at Chavat Arugot, how much he loved our holy land, how inspired he was by those who made it their life's mission to love, work, and settle this land, our land. That's why it's so befitting that we choose to give the first ever Lion of Zion Award to Ari and Jeremy of the Arugot Farm. I hope that we can help them to keep doing what they're doing for Torat Israel, for Am Yisrael, Be'eretz Israel.
תרימו לראות. היי וואו.
טוב, אני ג'רמי, נעים מאוד. אני אדבר באנגלית. Thank you all at the Ari Fuld project. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Ishai. Thank you, everyone that put this night together. It's just, it's the greatest honor I've ever received. So thank you. Just overwhelming being here. I don't really know how to absorb it. But it's an opportunity for me to give honor and thanks and appreciation and credit to all the people that really deserve it. Because everything that I've accomplished is only because of the people that surround me. And so I didn't move to that mountain alone. I've done nothing alone. If I'm getting an award, Tehila Gimpel is getting an award. My wife, my best friend, my partner in everything that we do. It's not that she allows me to do or face Asiyah in the world, my mission in the world. She is a full partner in everything that I do. Every plant that we planted, every Torah that we teach, every mountain that we conquer, everything that I've ever done, Tehila has been a full partner in everything. And everyone knows that she's brilliant, but she's also the most courageous, the toughest, the strongest, the most giving, the most self-sacrifice, just constantly giving beyond herself, a pillar of integrity and truth, just a model of how a Jewish woman should be in the world. So thank you, Tehila, for nothing in my life would be as it is without you. Yossi Levid and Roni Moshe, they're the other two partners at Chavat Arugot. All of the beauty and the style and the architecture, they were the first Jews on that mountain, and if there's any credit given to us, then they deserve the credit as well. I mean, the list is so long, and so I don't have all night to thank all of my friends and all of my family, but Ari and I, there's a long list of people. We call them the team, and it's people all over the world, and it's people that are all in this together. It's like they're our best friends, they're our biggest supporters, they are our biggest encouragement, with us every step along the way, and it's like we're a brotherhood, we're a fellowship, we're an army, and Ari Fuld was a general in our army, and we moved to the farm, and just weeks later he was taken from us, and it was such a trauma for all of us, but somehow his spirit continues to give us koach, continues to give us light. And I think about this movement of people that are all working together to support each other, to continue in furthering the story of the Jewish people, continue to strengthen Israel. What brings us all together? What is that common thread that sort of ties us all in this amazing tapestry of this movement of people that are so committed to Eretz Yisrael, inspired like Ari Fuld? And for me, I've been trying to think of the answer of that when I heard that we were going to get this, and I tried to channel what would the message that Ari would want me to share tonight. You know, the first time where Ari and I really became friends, we were arrested together in a demonstration for Givat Tam. We sat next to each other in the police car. And that's when we realized, oh, we're on the team. And at least for me, and for my connection with Ari, and for everyone here in this evening, it's an unreasonable faith and belief in the destiny of the Jewish people. That we as a people were chosen. We as a people were chosen to live by the Torah. We were chosen to raise families by the Torah, to build communities founded upon the Torah, to build a country based on the values of the Torah, that would build a society that will be so special and so unique, so kadosh, that God's presence will literally dwell among us, and that society will inspire the entire world. And so today, you know, modern society, they're like, do as little as possible and try to get as much as you can. And I feel like Ari's message, such a Torah message, it was do as much as you possibly can. Carry the biggest responsibility that you can manage, and carry the load for the Jewish people, and keep on going. And it's like, when you're young, you can just carry yourself. Learn to do that. That's good. Get a little bit older, you can carry the responsibility for your family, then maybe your community, hopefully, eventually for your country. It's like, pick up the biggest rock that you can find, hoist it on your shoulders, and start walking up the mountain. And then when you get to the top of the mountain and you finally put it down, you should know that you're building Yerushalayim. You are building God's kingdom on earth. And then when you're done, go back down that mountain and find another rock. And maybe this time it'll be bigger. And the more responsibility each Jew takes to push the story forward, the more Yerushalayim is being built in our days. And on that path, you'll find your strength, you'll find your growth, you'll find your happiness, you'll find a fire that still burns, that Ari clearly had, that he was sharing with all of us. If life is easy, you're living it wrong. A Torah from Ari Fuld that has resonated around the world. Ari lived that ideal in his life. There were times where the responsibility that he shouldered for Israel and the Jewish people was personally overwhelming for him. And then in his death, he became the Jewish idea. He became the Lion of Zion. A warrior for Israel, a defender of the Jewish people, a guardian of the Torah, a protector of the land of Israel. He was one of Israel's greatest spokesmen, a teacher of Torah who lived the Torah, who lived a shining example of what it is to be a proud Jew in Eretz Yisrael, a light to everyone around him. And so I only hope one day to be worthy of this award. But there is one Jew that I know that is worthy of this award. There's one. And his deepest desire is to align himself with all of those wonderful things and ideals that Ari Fuld represents. In his own way, he lives them out every day at the edge of Jewish settlement in Israel. And so, please, stand up for the Lion of Zion, Ari Abramowitz.
Jeremy and I agreed, sorry Jeremy, I'm going to have to lift this up a little bit. Jeremy and I agreed that our entire speeches would be dedicated to explaining why the other guy does not deserve the prize. And then he comes and introduces me like that. And, you know, I think Ari probably would have started with a joke. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a joke right now, as solemn an occasion as this is, because what's happening now sort of reminds me of that. You may have heard the joke. There's a rabbi standing before his congregation on Yom Kippur, and he stands before them and he says, "Please, Kahal, holy congregation, I'm nothing. Please forgive me. I'm nothing. Please forgive me." And then the chazan gets up and says, "Please, holy congregation, forgive me. I too, I'm nothing. I'm nothing." And then the gabbai gets up and he says, "Holy friends, I beg of you to forgive me, please. I'm nothing." And then the chazan whispers to the rabbi, "Look who thinks he's nothing." That's a little bit of what I feel like is happening now, because when I hear Jeremy giving the credit to everybody else and saying how unworthy he feels, I'm like, look who thinks he's unworthy. I'm the unworthy one. Because what can I do? What can I do? Last night when I sat down to sort of write my thoughts, I found that I just kept on coming up with disclaimers about why I'm unworthy, or maybe not unworthy, just not worthy, not nearly as worthy as so many people here in this place right now, that serving the food even, that are true lions of Zion. And so, you know, it's not the prize. I can say that for sure. It's not the prize or the award that I feel unworthy about. If you want to give me the prize of being a great Abba or a decent husband, I can wrap my mind around that. But the Ari Fuld Lion of Zion prize, that's way beyond my pay grade. That's beyond what I can wrap my mind around. And here is my little girl, Dvash, that is grabbing the center saying, "Okay, this was unexpected. Is this a distraction, or can I continue like this?" So I needed inspiration, right, for what I was going to share with you right now, because I was so lost in myself. So what did I do? I did something that I've done before many times in the past, and I went to watch an Ari Fuld video, which I suggest you do. If you're ever looking for inspiration, do it randomly, haphazardly. Watch an Ari Fuld video. And which video did I click on? Out of all of his videos, I believe this was the last video that he broadcast, the last Torah idea he broadcast to the world, and it was the Torah portion that we just read this past Shabbat. It was the Torah portion of Vayelech, where Moshe Rabbeinu is handing the mantle of leadership. It's so unreal that this was his last Torah that he shared. Moshe Rabbeinu is handing the mantle of leadership to Yehoshua. You want to go down to Mama? And I wish I could give over the entire 18-minute Torah, but I don't have the time for that. So the crux of what Ari was sharing is that Moshe Rabbeinu said to Yehoshua, "Don't be afraid. Don't be filled with fear. This isn't about you. This isn't about you. This is about the mission. This is about the why." That's what it is. Think about Moshe Rabbeinu in the entire Haggadah, where we learn about Yetziat Mitzrayim. Not once is Moshe Rabbeinu's name mentioned during the Haggadah. Think about, we don't know where his kever is. We don't know where he's buried. He didn't want them to know, because he didn't want people to go and daven it, because it's missing the point, making it about him. And that's what he was saying. My leadership isn't about me, and your leadership isn't about you. It's about Am Yisrael. It's about the why. Rav Eliyahu Dessler says, the greatest service of Hashem lies in the refinement of motivation. Why we do what we do. And anyone who knew Ari knew that he was so totally encompassed with his why, with the why, with his love for his ahavat Am Yisrael, his ahavat Eretz Yisrael, his ahavat Hashem Elohei Yisrael, right? His love of the nation of Israel, of the land of Israel, and of the God of Israel. He was so consumed with that there was so little of him left to even have to call Ari. He was he was a soul of the nation. That's who he was. He belonged to all of us. And when he left the world, it's almost like he was released. His light was released to the entire world. And that's what real humility is. I heard humility to be humble. What is it to be a humble person? I heard it defined. A humble person is someone who does not think less of himself, but of himself less. And Ari Fuld could not have possibly thought of himself less. He was so consumed with teaching shiurim morning and night, burning the candle constantly at both ends, teaching shiurim to young Jews from around the world to inspire them with a love for Eretz Yisrael, going and helping IDF soldiers, and when he wasn't helping them and giving them food, he was serving alongside them in the most heroic way imaginable. That's who Ari Fuld was. And to be given this award, to me, it's like we're being handed such a responsibility. You know, Moshe, the sages of Israel say that Moshe Rabbeinu was the sun and Yehoshua was the moon. Right? Yehoshua reflected this beautiful light that Moshe Rabbeinu shined. And actually, Eve Harrow just told me today that nowhere in the Torah and the Tanakh does Yehoshua ever take credit for anything. Does he say anything in his own name? He was just shining the reflection of Moshe's light. And that's what I feel like this award really is, to a large degree. Ari was a son. He was really a son, not just for me and Jeremy, but for so many of us here. And I can even hear Ari's voice saying, don't say that, I'm not the son. And to him I say, look who thinks he's not the son, right? The fact is that Ari was a son to all of us, to so many of us here. And it's upon us. That's how I see this award. It's upon us to continue shining that light, because his light was bright, and it's even brighter now that he's left the world. And he had a light of courage and of faith and of love. And when he came to the farm, I remember just being so starstruck. I was like just so honored. I even remember the last time I saw Ari, I was entering the southern entrance of Efrat. He was driving out, and I looked at him and I said, Ashreinu matov chalkeinu, that I just see a guy like Ari Fuld driving his car out of Efrat, just walking around like a hero of Israel. I remember thinking that even then. And so when he came to the farm, and his compliments were just like sunshine on a plant that's like been in the dark, because we've been facing a lot of huge challenges from all these different angles, from the Supreme Court, and from the Arabs, and from the leftists. And then Ari Fuld comes, and he was just so encouraging. And I remember one of the things he told us that was really inspiring to him is that when we came out to the farm, we didn't build fences or security systems, because a lot of people said, that's what we need to do. We need to do that. It would be irresponsible not to do that. And we had very limited resources, so if we were to put all of our money into building fences and security systems, okay, we're done, but what are we even protecting? And so we said, no, we're not going to do that, because it's one thing to take the Jew out of the exile, and it's another thing to take the exile out of the Jew. And Ari Fuld was all about taking the exile out of the Jew. And it was his courage that really has been a tremendous focal point for Jeremy and myself and so many of us here in moving forward in that way. Because Moshe Rabbeinu, you know, when he sent the spies into Eretz Yisrael, he told them to see if the cities are what? Well fortified. That was what they were supposed to see. And Rashi said, right, well fortified, means big walls, fences, security systems. And Rashi says that if they were well fortified, it means that they're weak. Why? Because they're putting their faith in their walls and their security systems. We said we don't need to do that. We're not going to do that. Why? Because we're strong. And we're not strong because of our weapons, and we're not strong because of our muscles. We're strong because Hashem is with us. And that was Ari's message that lives on in us. So I want to thank my wife, but thank you for ruining the possibility of me doing that. There's no way I could match that thanks. So Shayna, I love you. Everything that Jeremy said is exactly how I feel about you and more. I want to thank my parents for making me who I am, for constantly barraging my brain with the stories of our ancestors who loved the land of Israel, making my entire life about the land of Israel, and for supporting me when I was moving out to be alone on a mountaintop 2 kilometers from my closest neighbor, me and a bunch of sheep, and they supported me through that. So I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank the team. Someone like Yishai Fleischer, who in my mind I was like, he deserved this prize more than us. You sorry? You're the MC. Anyways, there's so much that I want to say, but again, this isn't about me. It's not about us. This is about Am Yisrael. This is about Hashem, and may we continue to reflect that light that Ari shined to the world, may that light illuminate the entire world and inspire the building of the Beit HaMikdash b'mehera b'yameinu amen.